Welcome to the deep dive.
Hey there.
Today, we're tackling something a lot of people in the Salesforce world think about: going freelance,
Yeah.
becoming a consultant on your own terms.
Yeah, it's a big leap. And knowing where to even begin, that can feel, well, pretty daunting.
Definitely. But we've got a great guide for you today. It's an article from salesforceben.com written by Lucy Mazelon. Really practical stuff.
It really is. Based on her experience, community insights, it's a solid roadmap.
So our mission for this deep dive,
Right.
we want to sort of unpack the key steps, the challenges, the things you really need to consider based on this article.
Right. For anyone who's maybe thinking about it or even just started out as an independent Salesforce pro.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. What is a Salesforce freelancer, according to this source?
Basically, it's someone self-employed. You get hired by companies, per project or maybe for a set amount of time.
And your job is fundamentally selling your Salesforce skills, your knowledge, to help those clients actually use the platform better, improve things.
And why do people do it? The article points to the usual suspects, I guess. Lifestyle flexibility. That's huge.
Oh, absolutely. Being your own boss, controlling your schedule.
Plus the potential for higher earnings and getting to work on different kinds of projects, keeping things fresh.
And the timing seems right, too. The source says the Salesforce ecosystem is just skyrocketing. It's described as ripe with job opportunities.
Yeah, because of all the innovation and how loyal customers tend to be to the platform, it keeps growing.
And interestingly, for people already working in Salesforce, especially maybe in consulting roles already, it can feel like a really natural progression. The article even suggests the barriers to entry, for consultancy pros at least, are pretty low.
That's encouraging, but let's be real, it's still a massive decision. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy.
Totally. Which is why the source strongly advises, don't just jump in feet first, test the waters.
Right. Don't quit the day job immediately.
Yeah.
How do you test it then?
Well, there are a few ways mentioned. One is moonlighting.
The classic side hustle.
Exactly. Doing freelance work on top of your full-time job. Evenings, weekends, holidays. It often means sacrificing that personal time, at least initially.
Or another option, pro bono work, volunteering your skills for nonprofit.
Yeah, that's a fantastic way to get experience with different types of organizations, different stakeholders, without the pressure of a commercial contract right away.
You could also take on smaller projects, short, defined gigs, maybe during a break between jobs or something like that.
That's another way. And the source also mentions working for a consultancy first, seeing it as a kind of stepping stone.
Though it notes that's not going to be feasible for everyone, obviously.
Right. But all these methods, these ways of testing things out, they really feed into something super important the article highlights.
Which is?
Finding your why, your personal reason for doing this.
Okay. Like, what unique problem do you solve? How are you different?
Exactly. And what do you actually hope to achieve in, say, your first year? Nailing that down isn't just like navel-gazing.
It's practical.
It really is. It helps define what makes you stand out. And maybe even more importantly, it's what keeps you going during the tough times.
Which the article acknowledges will happen, like cash flow drying up or finding yourself working way more hours than planned.
Your why provides that motivation, that anchor.
Okay, good advice. So let's say you've tested the waters, you found your why. What's the actual plan? How do you build this freelance business?
The source lays out a pretty clear, structured approach. 6 key steps to build that foundation.
Step 1.
Define your niche. This is critical. The advice is really about how to stand out.
And it is not just listing your tech skills.
Right.
Or saying, I do Sales Cloud.
No, exactly. The key insight here, and it references folks like Susan Baer and Brian Shea on this concept, is to define the specific types of problems you solve for clients.
So less, I know Marketing Cloud. More, I help businesses increase lead conversion rates using Marketing Cloud automation. Problem-focused.
Precisely. That's how you find your focus and really differentiate.
Makes sense. What's step 2?
Step 2 is build your services offering. Think of it like your menu, your catalog of what you deliver.
Okay.
The idea is to group your services into logical packages. Makes it clearer for clients, and it helps you manage the work better, ensuring you deliver something functional and, frankly, have a better experience yourself.
And how do you structure those packages or projects?
The article mentions thinking about frequency, duration, and payment terms, and it details 4 common ways projects get delivered.
All right, what are they?
First, the project fixed cost. Pretty standard. Agreed price, defined scope. If the scope changes, you need a change request.
Okay.
Then there's project time and materials, or T&M. You get paid hourly or daily. You estimate the scope and time, but there's no fixed cap. You sort of roll with the punches if things evolve.
More flexible, maybe riskier for the client's budget.
Potentially, yeah. Third is managed services. This is more like an ongoing commitment, a monthly retainer for a set number of hours. Often feels a bit like contracting.
And the last one.
Ad hoc support. Those small, unexpected requests. Quick fixes, urgent help, maybe outside a main project.
Right, the can you just quickly type requests.
Exactly those. Okay, step 3. This is the nuts and bolts stuff. Prepare the freelancing foundation, your business admin checklist.
The less glamorous side. Running the actual business.
You got it. The article really emphasizes this. You're not just a Salesforce consultant anymore. You are running a business.
But what's on the checklist?
Things like setting up your company legally, which varies a lot by country, so research is key. Setting up your accounting and payroll, how you actually get paid, track money, pay taxes.
Super important.
Creating a cash flow sheet for budgeting. Seriously considering business insurance, it's optional but highly recommended. Getting the right kind and amount.
Okay, what else?
Templating contracts and NDAs saves huge amounts of time later.
Yeah.
And purchasing your tools.
Like project management software, Asana, Trello.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
And accounting platforms, maybe CRM for your own sales. All the things you need to operate professionally.
Right. The stuff you don't think about when you're an employee.
Exactly. Okay, foundation laid. Now, the million-dollar question. Step 4, how to get clients.
The big one. How does the article break this down?
It outlines 3 main work models for freelancers.
Okay. Model 1.
Option #1, get your own clients. This means you're doing the marketing and sales. Outbound stuff like prospecting, reaching out.
And inbound, like writing articles, speaking at events, creating videos.
Exactly. The pro here is maximum control. Your rates, your projects, your brand is front and center. The source mentions Brian Shea prefers this for the independents.
But the downside?
It's time-consuming. Hugely. Upfront and ongoing. You have all the responsibility, end-to-end pressure, no one to escalate to if things go wrong. Risk of burnout, too.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, option 2.
Option #2, subcontracting through a Salesforce consultancy. So you find consultancies that have gaps in their teams or need specific skills for a project.
Why would consultancies do this?
Well, full-time consultants are expensive overhead, and project pipelines go up and down. Subcontractors offer flexibility.
Makes sense. What are the pros for the freelancer?
Big one is less admin hassle. The consultancy usually handles sales, invoicing, contracts. You just do the Salesforce work.
Nice.
You might even get certification sponsorship sometimes. And there's a safety and numbers aspect backup from their team.
Okay, but the cons?
You have an extra layer of expectation pleasing both the client and the consultancy. Your day rate is usually lower than if you got the client directly.
And the white labeling thing.
Yeah, often you're presented as part of the consultancy's team, so your own brand isn't visible. Some freelancers don't mind, others really dislike it.
Right. Okay, third model.
Option #3, recruiters. They connect specialists like you with organizations that need specific skills, often for contract roles.
Pros of using recruiters.
They can find opportunities quickly, sometimes high quality